I'm gonna try Blue-Red Delver later today, but yeah, I'm pretty off Grixis Delver. I just really don't enjoy the Deathrite Shaman mirror matches. I feel like I'm hard-pressed to pass up Blue Source, Cantrips, and like one combo piece. I do like the mana base in this deck. The fact that we just get to fetch a bunch of basic islands seems really appealing. So we're looking for lands and show and tells right now. This is fine, right? I don't really need a Cunning Wish, do I? I kind of want 2 lands. Then I can shuffle before I grab that Cunning Wish. How do I get legacy cards for paper events? Just other people. Matt actually ran or managed one of the card stores in the town where I live for a long time, so he knows a lot of people that can just like hand us dual lands and stuff. Mono blue legacy, oh glad yeah. They went basically on Ponder Duel, so they could be playing Miracles. It could also be like a pseudo mirror or an actual mirror maybe. I'm really not interested in any of these cards, right? I think I'm just gonna Eddie Order shuffle here. Go ahead and pass here. I'm really not interested in like Crack Fetch Brainstorm. That doesn't sound appealing. I think if my opponent casts a cantrip next turn, I'm gonna go ahead and Spell Pierce them. Yeah, I've been responsible for borrowed legacy cards a lot of the time. Yeah, okay, so they are playing an unfair deck as well. So I'm just gonna go ahead and try and stymie their setup here. Just kind of want to like use my mana. I'm gonna be too surprised if they have another cantrip here. It might actually be the mirror since they have two basic islands here. Feels like the mirror. Flusterstorm feels decent. I'm just gonna go Island Pass actually. We'll Impulse turn to turn.
I pick Goatee. I pick Goatee.
You wanna pick a different show? Okay.
I pick Goatee.
Okay, you can pick. Dealer's choice, okay?
I pick the Goatee. I pick the Goatee. I got the Goatee.
Yeah, there's some Go Toys. Merchant Scroll. Oh, they're playing High Tide?
High Tide? Cool High Tide.
Cool High Tide. We're gonna play some High Tide later today. This was JMP that sent $1 bills for this one. I think I'm brainstorming here. I'm gonna Impulse actually. I kind of don't mind all the cards in my hand. Yeah, first game, first match. Okay, good job. It's going. This technically gets show and tell. I have children. I am always up at this hour. You okay? Sure. Does anyone else remember when these decks used to play Dream Halls as like an extra show and tell? Anyone else remember when that was a thing? I remember when that was a thing. Pepperidge Farm remembers when that was a thing. I think I just end step Demonic Tutor for Intuition, or for show and tell, sorry. Cheesy Pikachu. Flusterstorm of their own. Deal. I kind of sad that, like, I never really played Legacy before Emrakul and Gristlebrand were things, because Legacy before Emrakul and Gristlebrand were things was probably really sweet. It, like, feels to be, like, post-Emrakul Gristlebrand Legacy. It's just like, well, these are the best things you should always be doing, so just do them. I'm gonna put land Emrakul back on top of my deck here and then preordain them away. Hey, Boudris, with that 2-month resubscription. Thanks a lot. Welcome back, bud. I appreciate the continued support. As always, subscriptions are the best way you can support what I do here. All right, what you working with over there? They are, in fact, High Tide. It's a sweet time spiral. So they have Fluster, Force, Scroll Spiral. Our hand is really good as far as disruption goes. Alright, there's the show and tell. So that means I need to look for like land plus Force of Will and another blue card. Oh god, we're gonna have to Flusterstorm their Flusterstorm. If those of you that have never been to Hell, one of the floors of Hell is Flusterstorming other Flusterstorms. I know there's definitely multiple floors of Hell, but one of them is definitely Flusterstorming Flusterstorms on Magic Online. It's 110% what one of the floors of Hell is. I guess I could also just like cast the show and tell and like look for another show and tell later. That could be reasonable as well. So like those are decent, but I actually don't I don't have a land and we're Brainstorm locked now, so I guess we're just playing Drago here for a touch, but we're like not in any danger of dying to them either, right? Cunning Wish. I was gonna spell pierce that. Get out of here. And I can pitch this Omniscience to Force of Will since there's another Omniscience on top of my deck. No, it's only bad on Magic Online. In paper, you could just verbally communicate what you're doing. On Magic Online, because often what you want to do is you want to Flusterstorm one copy of each of their Flusterstorms. It really brings on the feels of Fight Club, right? I like how they were like, no, dog, they're not going to be able to see each other's computers. I feel like that's going to be an issue before the end of their tournament. Alright, so they have Fluster, Force, Time Spiral, and High Tide. And then 3 cards I don't know at this point. Yeah, don't think they're ready to pick a fight just yet. Hey, Cloud647. Thanks for that Twitch Prime support. I really appreciate that. Subscriptions, as always, are the best way you could support what I do here, so thank you, thank you, thank you. You need to hit refresh and then hit send to get the notification. So you have to manually send the notification on your end. Okay, that's pretty good for us. So I have this extra Omniscience for the Force of Will. And then we have two show and tells here. Realistically, I could even pitch both these Omniscience to these Force of Wills and then just show and tell in an Emrakul. That doesn't seem terrible. So I'm going to... I guess I'm just throwing these back for now. Because I really don't want to scry anything away here, I don't think. I think I'm just passing. Awesome, Cloud. Well, I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad you like the articles up there. Another one coming out today. Alright, hopefully they go for it this turn. Oh, I should have put... I think I stacked my Brainstorm wrong. I believe I stacked my Brainstorm so the Preordain's on top, and I think I actually want the Emrakul to have been on top. Yeah. I'm just going to cast this show and tell. They're going to counter it. Yeah, that's fine. So I have 2 forces here. There's an Emrakul on top of my deck. So, like, because I have this other show and tell, I'm basically just, like, using this show and tell to Ravens cram a counterspell out of their hand. So I know they have Time Spiral, High Tide, Force, and then they have 2 cards I don't know. So they have Force, Spiral, Tide... And 2 cards I don't know. Yeah, sure. So Burgle, basically it's 2 plans. Either you're show and telling, if you're show and telling Omniscience into play, then you are then you're gonna cast the Emrakul and it lets you win faster. Having the Omniscience as a backup plan also lets you win the game with Cunning Wish in your hand, because we can Cunning Wish for Eladamri's call. We are not playing any copies of Dream Hall, which I'm not sure if that's right or wrong. Again, this one is a donation deck list, like a lot of them. Omniscience lets you get around cards like Karakas or Sweepers a lot of the time. Yeah, Merchant Scroll's fine. This is probably getting a counter spell. It's getting another force. Okay. We'll see if they go for it or not here. They are not. Alright, so this is where I pick my fight, right? I guess I could wait a turn. Yeah, I'm going to wait a turn. I'm going to try and find another land here. I'm going to go bottom and try and hit a land. That's really unfortunate. Because now I'm going to have to lose a resource. Yeah, maybe I was just supposed to go for it there. Just like try. I kind of wanted double force plus Flusterstorm up, but that's tough. Hey, Bricken Sky with the big donation. Sorry for the Legacy Tilt Fest last night. Here's some money for the Rug Mood list. Thanks, bud. Get that added with the extra democracy. Thank you for the big donation. I appreciate that. Burgle, you'd really like this list, I think. Seems pretty reasonable. Alright, please hit a non-Boseiju land. Really just want an island or an ancient tomb. Perfect. Alright. That's really unfortunate. Yeah, I agree, Burgle. It's got a really concentrated game plan, which is good. I drew a second Flusterstorm. It's really bad for us. I think I'm just supposed to let this happen. So I probably can't beat this, right? Yeah, Flusterstorm is just so good in these combo mirrors. So they're mostly out of resources too. Again, it really sucks that I had to move to hand size, because like when we're trying to force each other, losing that resource to a force of will is really bad for us. Well, so I can Flusterstorm, but the way Flusterstorming Flusterstorm works is they have 5 lands up, right? So, like, I have to counter their individual copies, and eventually I don't have enough Flusterstorms to Flusterstorm every one of their copies. They can just pay mana for some of my Flusterstorm triggers. Now we're looking for cantrips and more show and tells. Why didn't we discard Emrakul to hand size? They need Emrakul to win the game, Justin. They need Emrakul to win the game. I think I just let this happen. First, like, time walking me. Go. Does that do anything useful for me? Oh, it does, actually. If they don't kill me here, I can Cunning Wish for Surgical, and then... Is this just Time Spiral? Well, sure, but I need an Emrakul in my hand to win the game. Like, if the show and tell resolves and I don't have an Emrakul, I don't get to win the game. They went top, so I assume... Oh, they're playing Predict. That's interesting. Alright, well, if we don't die here, I get to take their high tides out of their deck. Which is awesome. They could kill us here. They could have, like, high tide turnabout and then...
I got more gold. I got more gold. I got more gold. I got more gold.
You want to watch Go Toys? Okay, hold on.
I got more gold. I got more gold. I got more gold. I got more gold.
Which one you want to pick? Let's not mess this up. Where's the card your deck is named after? That one. I would like to take that one.
That's not this one. Oh, it's this one.
Okay, it's gone. And we can beat a force here, right? Because there's been 1, 2, 3 spells cast before this. This is counter unless they pay 4. That's so fun. I was just about to say they could high tide and pay for this. All right. And now nobody has any resources. What a funny game of Magic. Some of these combo mirrors are just so, the way the cards line up into each other is just so funny. All right, they've got 1 card, I've got 1 card. Let's do it, fam. What turn is this? They just started their 13th turn. They just started their 13th turn. Is it a time spiral? Turnabout. They've turned about into time spiral? Nice spiral. Did we start over? Yep, that's what it looks like. That was a pretty bad spiral for us. I'm glad I used the Ancient Tomb and kept my fetch land though, because I do have a Brainstorm here, which is nice. So I could potentially find forces and stuff like that. As long as we're up on clock, we should be okay. Yeah, we are up on clock currently. Barely, but we are. Oh, that's good. Alright. Put these back. Do we lose now? This is game 1. They're at 16 minutes and this is game 1. Am I supposed to force this? I don't actually know if I'm supposed to force the second high tide or not. I could see this being wrong. I could see a world where this is incorrect. I mean, Surgical is good against people that are playing Magic cards, right? So, and then I'm gonna Surgical them here to. Oh, this is the first high tide, actually, right? Yeah, it is because they just started going off without any high tides. I like how I'm at 5, just like have never been attacked. I'm at 5. Anyone who has thoughts on how I'm supposed to sideboard, feel free to throw them in chat. Yep. They must have a Flusterstorm or something in their board, right? I think so. Usually they need multiple high tides to fully go off. Alright, I'm just going to pass. I'll let them do their thing. I should probably take notes so we're going to try the high tide deck after this, and I haven't really played it recently. Yeah, Boseiju is excellent. Just about to say, I guess I shouldn't auto pass because they could do what they just did. Oh, High Tide's symmetrical, isn't it? That's... I forgot about that. I'm gonna save this Cunning Wish as a surprise. I have Pact of Negation in my board, yeah. I can Brainstorm into a Force as well. Or a Flusterstorm or a Spell Pierce. Storm is currently 17. I actually have a Trickbind. I do have a Trickbind in my board. How do they win? Usually with Brain Freeze or Blue Sun Zenith. Yeah, they should be able to generate enough mana and Blue Sun Zenith us. But that is one of the difficulties. They do have to generate enough mana to Blue Sun Zenith us. It's one of the reasons why we haven't conceded yet. No, they can't Brain Freeze us because we have Emrakuls in our deck. Okay, so they have infinite mana, essentially. Sure. Declan, you have to wait for the edge. You know how this works. They're Blue Sun Zenithing themselves. Alright, so I have to fight over this one, right? That's really unfortunate for us. Alright, so they have a counterspell, we're dead. Which, they have 3 cards and they've cast a lot of cantrips, so they pretty likely have a counterspell here. Yeah. Just cast Force of Will for 5 mana. Yep. Oh, I could have Brainstormed again. Yeah, you're right. I punted. Alright, well, they drew most of their deck, so I'm just gonna let them do their thing now at this point. But yeah, I definitely messed that up. Hey, Kid Cloverfield with the brand new Twitch Prime support. Thank you very much and welcome. I do appreciate that. As always, subscriptions are the best way you can support what I do here. My wonderful subscribers are the reason I'm able to do what I do as often as I do it. So thank you to all of y'all. High Tide symmetrical, JW, so their High Tides made my islands tap for more. The person who donated for Mono Red actually asked if I'd play this instead, and I was more interested in playing this than playing Mono Red, so... yeah, the kids like this at her. She's gonna start on Monday, so that's exciting. Oh, how did I get to 5 life? Ancient Tombs, Fetch Lands, and Surgical Extractions. Right, and they're gonna deck us here with Blue Sun Zenith. So what was 1, 2, it was 4 cards down, 5 cards down. Alright, begin sideboarding. Do I want to board in both Boseijus? I feel like I probably don't. Or sorry, both Flusterstorms. I feel like, you think this is a Talrand matchup? They're all Talrand matchups. He's like a must-answer threat, right? I feel like Intuition's a little bit bad here. I feel like I don't want to bin a bunch of my show and tells over an Omniscience. That's interesting. Okay, I'd buy that for $1. Like, maybe we could trim it Omniscience? Omniscience? However you want to call it. And again, I don't know if I want both these Flusters. And I have this Pact of Negation in my board. And I have this Surgical Extraction. It's just going to be chat saying Talrand did it every matchup, right? Doesn't matter what the matchup is, Talrand did. Talrand doesn't get Flusterstormed or Spell Pierce, which is sweet, though. Definitely like that. Yeah, I think I'll leave a Fluster on the board. So, Surgical is a little bit less good post-board because a good High Tide player is going to board out one of their High Tides, so that way, if I Surgical them, they can still Cunning Wish for High Tide. Just cut your losses and made the Talrand, right? This hand is not a keep. It's got a blue source and some 1-mana spells, but just doesn't have any cantrips. Seems like okay, I guess. I think I'm gonna bottom that. I think I'm bottoming that. Actually, no. I could go either way. That's pretty tasty. It's pretty tasty, chat. Hey, Mr. Tasty with the beds. Thanks, bud. I appreciate it. Oop. They have a Force here, we could be in trouble. Haha! Got him! Got him! Is this Boseiju card good? How do you feel about this Boseiju card, chat? It's like Dece, baby Dece plus. Oh, baby! Oh, baby! So we get, for those that aren't aware, we get Firemind's Foresight there, and then Firemind's Foresight goes and gets us cantrips and impulses and another Cunning Wish. And then Cunning Wish gets Eladamri's Call and just like diddle them all over. All right. Pretty good, but not as good as Talrand with the real hot takes. That seems fine. It's got cantrips, it's got plenty of lands, it's got a Cunning Wish, it's got spell pierce. Yep. It's not like Boseiju good, but it's like Dece. I'm just supposed to... That's a Boseiju. Yeah, I could take the Boseiju and the Brainstorm here and then shuffle the fetch away. Yeah. What's going on, Tanny? I saw they canceled getting some crazy weather out there, it sounds like. Sure. What you got? It's a High Tide, yep. So I'm pretty sure I want to shuffle... I kind of just want to Brainstorm this turn, huh? I think I'm actually just going to Brainstorm. I have one card I don't really want on top of my deck, but I think that's fine. Wow, this is some gross hits. Definitely don't want to redraw those. We can Talrand next turn, chat. I don't want to get people too excited. I don't want to get people too excited, but we could cast Talrand. I'm just saying that Talrand is castable here. Unfortunately, that's probably not a good play. Am I supposed to just Brainstorm again? I feel like I am. I feel like I need some more defense. None of that is defense. Definitely putting an Ancient Tomb back. I think I'm just going like Tomb back, play the fetch land. Yeah. Play Randy. Punished for not playing Talrand. I can just draw the Ancient Tomb and stick the Talrand. That sounds kind of appealing. Just drawing the Ancient Tomb in general seems okay. Alright. Hopefully we don't die. Hopefully we don't die. Just gonna cast the Spell Pierce. Okay. It certainly feels like we've made a Drake and then died. Alright. I'm saying there's a chance. Yeah, what's going on, Gorb? Yep. Yeah, playing this was wrong. I could have held up Cunning Wish for Flusterstorm. Chad talked me into it. How long do you think I'll be on? As long as the kids allow. High Tide is a lot like Eggs in the fact that you can't you're not supposed to actually concede to it. You're supposed to play it the turn before. I don't think so. I think the leaving, like, not having anything up at all is, like, super wrong. I think we should have just gone back and forth playing cat and mouse like we did the first game. I think with Boseiju's in my deck, I'm more likely to win the cat and mouse long game. We might do Modern later tonight. I think we're definitely just doing... Legacy this morning. So they have a Flusterstorm that I know about. That's fine. Spurns their clock. Hopefully Deathrite Shaman isn't long-lived legacy. I would love this format a lot more if Deathrite Shaman and Gitaxian Probe weren't in it. So we're not deterministically dead because our opponent's deck has to keep casting time spirals to win the game, and they could, one, brick on a time spiral, which is unlikely, but two, they could not have counter magic and we could have a force of will from their time spiral. And, like, this is, like, a good example of why, just, like, leaving mana up is good in this style of matchup. Like, these Pierces aren't great here, but the Flusterstorm's still alive. Deathrite Shaman just, I'm just gonna, we're pretty likely dead. We're not 100% dead, but quality of life, we've lost the game. Yeah, we definitely shouldn't have, I definitely shouldn't have, cast the Talrand on 5 there, or 4, or whatever turn that was. I think if we held up Cunning Wish for Flusterstorm, we probably wouldn't have died there. Yeah, that's the problem with Deathrite Shaman, is it just like, it's like, it makes the format, is homogeneous the right word? I don't know if that's the right word or not. What I mean is that, like, there's such a concentrated critical mass of, like, good, fair cards in Legacy now, especially with Deathrite Shaman. And Deathrite Shaman, acting as a Birds of Paradise, just lets you play pretty much all of the good cards in the same deck with very, very little drawback. So, if that's the case, just, like, all the good, fair decks kind of just become so hyper similar that it kind of makes the format really uninteresting in a lot of ways, in my opinion. Yeah, the fact that it's Birds of Paradise is just so obnoxious. So I don't know if it's, like, on a power level standpoint, but I think, like, when you mix its power level combined with the fact that it just lets you play all of the good cards in the same deck, it just, like, becomes kind of uninteresting. I think this is a shuffle here. Just looking for, like, lands. You wanna pick a show? I'll allow it. Alright, dealer's choice. Hold on. I gotta hit the back button. There you go. I'm gonna probe here. Maybe hit a 4, see what they're doing. God, we're literally playing a mirror match? Is that what's happening here? Just like, people saw me tweet that it was Mono Islands today and just Mono Island mirror matches now? Yeah, I think I'm of the opinion that it's okay to ban things for more than just power level reasons. Like, it's going. Like, if it makes the format more interesting, and I think it would make the format more interesting, but that's definitely a super subjective opinion, so. That's like Gitaxian Probe. I'm on a I hate Gitaxian Probe for the same level, for the same reasons. Like, I don't think Gitaxian Probe needs to be banned, but I do think I would like to put this one into play. Can I put this one into play? So they get to put in their Omniscience and cast Emrakul, but I can Cunning Wish and Intuition for stuff here. Alright, Yugi boy. What's the move? What's the move here? So I just Intuition for Force at this point, right? Just like Intuition, or for Flusterstorm. Doesn't really matter. Spell Pierce, Dealer's Choice. So their hand is Ancient Tomb, Emrakul, one card I don't know. So if their last card's a brick, we could win this easily. Maybe I was supposed to brainstorm in response to this, actually. This I should have brainstormed first here. This was a punt. I should have brainstormed to see what I got with brainstorm before I did this. I can also Firemind's Foresight, right? I can just Firemind's Foresight. Firemind's Foresight gets me a counterspell. So, God, this is a really funny... We've had good games of Magic so far this morning, at least. We've got that going for us. I'm gonna Brainstorm before I do anything else. See what we hit. I should have done this before I Intuitioned. This was a sequencing mistake on my part. Firemind's Foresight's an instant, right? Yeah, because we get it with Cunning Wish, so of course it's an instant. Yes. I would like this one. Nice show and tell, opponent. Nice show and tell. So this is gonna get Impulse, Flusterstorm, Cunning Wish. And I believe they only have one card we don't know. So if it's not exactly Flusterstorm, we should have them here. Oh! I could have... I didn't put Emrakul on top. I put the land on top. I messed up. Oh, and we're shuffling. And we're shuffling. Okay, so I'm gonna get Cunning Wish. I'm gonna get Impulse. I'm gonna get Spell Pierce, actually, I think. Because, like, they don't have any mana, right? Oh, I could get Brainstorm. I could get Brainstorm and just kill them, right? What if there's an Emrakul on top of their deck, though? What if there's... How does Clash read? A player wins the Clash if they had a higher convert mana. If they have an Emrakul on top of their deck, I lose the game, right? So I think I'm just getting spell. Why do I have to win? Yeah, I think I'm gonna just get Spell Pierce here because I can Cunning Wish for Trickbind and Trickbind their Emrakul extra turn trigger, and then play my own Emrakul and get my extra turn trigger. So yeah, I'm gonna get Spell Pierce, and I'm gonna Spell Pierce their Cunning Wish here. Yeah, this is fine. Sorry for the loud clap there. So I can Trickbind their Emrakul extra turn trigger. Oh, you're not casting your Emrakul. Huh, interesting. Weird. Oh no, you were just changing phases to try and get me to auto pass? Moto scum. Good try, Moto scum. Good try. Good try, Moto scum. That's a good one. So they changed phases there to try and get me to auto pass the turn when I got priority, thinking that they might get me. Get out of here. This deck's a hoot. I don't know if it's good, but this deck is certainly a hoot. Trigger. Ooh, candy.
The dad goes to stop.
The Go Toy stopped. Oh no.
I miss my Go Toy.
Mr. Go Toys.
So.
Hey, dealer's choice. Uh-oh. There you go. Alright, so this is a Talrand in, Flusterstorm in. I'm guessing the opponent Boseiju in. Alright, it's going. Alright, so... Yeah, I think I actually want Talrand. I agree. What are we supposed to cut? What are we supposed to cut? I definitely want Fluster, Talrand, Boseiju, so I need to cut 3 cards. Are we supposed to cut some show and tells? Put a force in the board for Cunning Wish? I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all. I guess I have a Fluster in the board though. Oh, that's close. How do I win the game if I cut show and tell? Like I have to show and tell, right? How do I actually win the game? We're like all in on the Talrand plan. Hard cast Omniscience. Cutting 2 doesn't seem terrible. If I'm cutting 2 of these, do I want Boseiju? Maybe I just don't want the extra Boseiju here because this isn't a race. I can cut 1 show and tell and cut 1 Boseiju. Leaving 3 show and tells because of intuition seems reasonable too. Alright, I don't know what we're doing. Let's try not to time out. I submit properly, yeah. Alright. 10 seems okay. You need the Boseiju. Why? Use your words. Use your words. Like, I have a Boseiju in my deck. There's a Boseiju in my main deck. So, like, cutting an Emrakul, I could see cutting an Emrakul being okay, too. I could see that being the answer. Alright, they have Lotus Petal in their build. I thought some of these builds played Lotus Petal. Some of these builds played Lotus Petal. I think I'm in the market for both of these. I'm gonna need lands at some point, but those cards are both reasonable. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Resolves. Hey. So do I Brainstorm here before I Firemind's Foresight? I think I'm supposed to. Because then I can use the Firemind's Foresight to shuffle. God, that's so good. I feel like first game was kind of funny, right? But this is like a fool me twice, shame on me type situation. Like, what did they think was going to happen? This like hoping I didn't have Omniscience and stuff? What a funny match. This match is like, I'm gonna have to like clip this match and put it on YouTube separately. Alright, choosing an Emrakul of our own. Just a moment. I would like some drinks. This has just been the most memey game of Magic the Gathering that I have played. And we played Cheerios yesterday, and this has been the most meme-filled game I've played this week. We played Cheerios yesterday, and this is the most meme-filled game of Magic the Gathering I've played this week. Alright, so I'm throwing these back. Oh, and then Intuition just gets me Emrakul, right? Good. GG, WP. Dealer's choice. Live by the meme, die by the meme. Good show and tell on turn 2 though, opponent. Good show and tell, you know? Both teams did their best. So, Intuition was originally intended to be templated like Gifts Ungiven. Gifts Ungiven is a fixed Intuition. Dude, that's the one we're currently watching. Pick a different one. No, pick a different one. You keep picking that one and then being upset.
This one.
Okay. How's the deck doing? Well, we lost to High Tide. I think I punted the third game against High Tide, and we just won a mirror because our opponent was really bad and just like put our Omniscience into play. I played a Trickbind. I played a Trickbind, which stopped my opponent's extra turn trigger from happening.
This one.
Dude.
This one.
You don't actually want that one.
Oh, a push. A butts. Say that. I wish a butts.
There you go.
Hey, we go take that.
No, these days I just play video games for people on the internet. I have a couple of hobby projects that I work on that are like open source stuff that aren't like paying gigs. I do a lot of Python and some Bash, but minimal amounts of C because C sucks. But mostly Python type stuff. All right, well, Declan's picking a show. I would just like to say good morning, afternoon, good night to everyone in the world. Thanks for joining us here. This isn't one of my normal stream times, but the MTGO Championship is going on this evening, so I didn't want to overlap them a ton with my normal Friday slot. So thanks for hanging out. If you're enjoying what you see, please make sure you hit that follow button. It doesn't cost you anything else so people find my stuff. If you're really enjoying what you see, please consider subscribing on Twitch. Subscriptions are the absolute best way you can support what I do here. My subscribers are the reason I'm able to do what I do as often as I do it. You can also support my content by supporting my sponsors, mtgotraders.com. We'd love to buy and sell some Magic Online cards with you. And if you use code HOGUN PayPal at checkout, then you'll save 8% on your singles orders there. CoolStuffInc.com buys and sells a lot of cool stuff, including TCG singles. Using promo code JEF5, you can save 5% on Magic, Pokemon, and Yu-Gi-Oh cards with them. InkedGaming.com would love to help you customize your gaming experience using code JEF12. You can save 12% on custom playmats, mouse pads, binders, bags. They do all sorts of stuff there. And finally, this stream is made possible by Anoronics and viewers like you. If you are enjoying the stream, Anoronics like to remind you to hit that follow button. How much do I need to donate for you to practice properly for SGG? Donate for you to practice properly. I don't know what that means, Squishy. Did you English properly there? I don't know what SGG Indie means. Peace, Brecken Sky. Have a good one. How do I like the feel of this deck so far? I don't know. I don't have enough experience with it. I feel like we haven't really played against any real decks yet, so I don't know how I feel about it. There's some place you recommend to learn Python for someone with minimal programming knowledge. There's Python and Ruby are the only languages I'm interested in. There's a lot of like intro, learn how to Python stuff out there. The Code Academy I think is a good one. So like I really hate trying to learn programming in a classroom setting. So like I self-taught a lot of my programming. So a lot of mine was I had a thing I wanted to do and then I used programming to do that thing, like learned what I needed to learn to accomplish the task I needed to accomplish. Kind of like goals-driven programming or whatever you want to refer to it as. Oh, you mean Cincinnati? You mean like play decks that only decks that I would consider playing at the tournament? This is just a shuffle, right? Like I'm looking for Omniscience and Boseiju at this point. Oh, like there is kind of some merit. Oh, I need an Omniscience. If I already had an Omniscience in play, I might keep that and take the show and tell just so I can go like show and tell, show and tell, show and tell, and just like play through their counter magic by like blasting in show and tells. If you have a good like logic oriented brain and like you have any development experience at all, like Python's really easy to pick up. This deck is a consideration. Yes, I care about Bamonte's mental health. We are going to get to some decks for Cincinnati, especially when we get a little bit closer. Today, we're going to play a couple other fair decks later that I'm interested in. But, like, honestly, I kind of wouldn't mind finding an unfair deck to derp over people with. I really don't want to play Delver and Deathrite Shaman Mirrors in Cincinnati, if I could avoid it. But the problem is, like, all of the other fair decks I've tried that aren't Delver Deathrite Shaman decks just, like, feel really anemic. So, do you need help with something, Jacob? Oh, did Dad trip over and break this? There you go, buddy. There you go. Alright. Yeah, I'm supposed to be playing Legacy in Cincinnati. So, opponent's playing Miracles. That doesn't bode well for my cantrips. Yeah, I played Big Red for a long while. I don't know, the deck's just like not super consistent. I really don't like Ant. Every time I've played with or against Ant, it feels super anemic. I know it just had a good weekend in the challenge events, but on average, it's just like really not great. So, just flooping Emrakul into play in this matchup's not good enough because they have Terminus and Jace, so I'm gonna shuffle. We really need an Omniscience. Jacob, calm down, buddy. All right. I think I'm just gonna Brainstorm for a force while they don't have, I know they don't have a 1-drop on top of their deck here. Yeah, this resolves, we should win the game, so. Perfect. Just gonna throw these show and tells back on top of my deck and force pitching Flusterstorm here, I think. Maybe that's loose. Yeah, I'm gonna force pitching Ponder, actually. That way I can have Flusterstorm to go off next turn. SCG Cincinnati is a team tournament. Powerful wizards. Are we done here? We're done here? Alright, good talk. Jacob. Declan, leave Jacob's cards alone. Declan, leave Jacob's cards alone, please. Alright, I definitely want all of those. What am I cutting in this matchup? We're gonna have a babysitter starting on Monday. For the afternoon streams, at least. Is cutting Emrakul's okay here just because I don't want to just show and tell Emrakul into play anyways? I think that logic's good. Maybe the Talrand's not good enough because they're a Terminus deck. Do they leave in? Can they leave in Terminus against me? It feels like they might. If you're a Miracles player, would you leave in Terminus against me? Oh, then I can't Intuition one. Yeah, but I can Intuition for Cunning Wish, and then Cunning Wish gets Eladamri's Call, and Eladamri's Call gets Emrakul, so I think that's fine. You Intuition for Wish, and then Wish for Eladamri's Call. There's no way they leave it Terminus. I love this. There's no way they leave it Terminus. Yes, they leave it. I might like Spell Piercing Cantrip more than most. I might. It's possible I'm supposed to Flusterstorm there just because Spell Pierce can counterbalance. I think I'm gonna Boseiju and then Ponder next turn though. I kinda just wanted to guarantee to use my mana this turn. I am muted intentionally. My 4-year-old is currently losing his mind in the background because when you are 4 years old, everything is the literal worst thing that could possibly be happening to you. So I'm gonna throw myself back on mute until he composes himself. Okay, he has accepted a bribe of a tablet, so I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get a tablet to deliver it. This game's slipping away from us pretty quickly here.
No.
Okay, there you go, good. It's going. Okay, I mean, if we hit a land, we can floop an Emrakul into play. This is probably the end of the game. Oh, did they mess up? Are they supposed to fetch? Yeah. They're supposed to fetch in response there. Once they pass priority with the miracle trigger, dude. Once they pass priority with the miracle trigger, they just have to pay mana, and they don't have white mana to pay for it. So God bless. So we're just looking for an ancient tomb, an island to fetch land. Bonus said LOL didn't fetch in chat. Yeah, you don't say. Well, that's actually a great draw. So let's hit a land and then do that next turn, hopefully. Steam Flogger, thanks for the bits. Are they just hard casting this Terminus? Or this Entreat for a bunch? Sure. Come on, land! 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 Man, that's frustrating. I guess we're on a 4-turn clock here, so we've got a little bit of time. I'm not discarding my extra show and tell because they have surgical extraction here, so I don't want them to be able to surgical my show and tell. I don't think so, but playing around a spell piercer surgical is pretty reasonable. Alright, I'm not gonna lie. That felt pretty fucking good. That was kind of great. Just like Boseiju my thing, Omniscience you, Emrakul you, derp derp derp, derp derp derp. So, because there's a card I want to draw on top of my deck, I'm not cracking this fetch land and casting a cantrip this turn. I'd much rather just, like, draw my show and tell and wait. Much rather just, like, cast my show and tell and wait. I really like the fact that this deck has just a bunch of basic islands in it. It's kind of great. Just, like, not having dual lands to get wastelanded feels good. This is fine, right? I've got 2 Omniscience. They might just take a cantrip here, honestly. That's a funny idea. I should put $12 in cash in my casting cost. We have Ancient Tombs and we have a couple of Boseijus. We're not playing Lotus Petal. Am I dead? I might be dead here. What a beating. Off it. This matchup has to be terrible, right? Feels like this matchup has to be really bad. We don't have the tools to win quickly. What changes post-board? Like, they get more discard. I mean, we don't have that much counter magic. We get one more piece. Alright, let's put Emrakul into play next turn. Oh, that was dumb. I should have drawn the land right and not let them know that I have the Emrakul in case they cast their Cabal Therapy. Oh, Cage. Cage does help. That's true. Cage is useful. I forgot we had 2 cages on the board. Forgot about the cages. Okay. Cabal Therapy's fine in general. I really just wish this card wasn't legal. And, like, they duress Cabal Therapy, so, like, they would have gotten that anyways. But, like, this card just, like, adds no value to the format. It just, like, lets these combo decks play, like, their 56 card decks. Leyline Sanctity's kind of narrow. I think I like the idea of Cage better than Leyline, because Reanimator's kind of hard for this deck, so having Cage in the sideboard is pretty appealing for that reason. Can you guys hear the music from Jake's tablet in the background? I might need to turn it down a touch because he's listening to it right on the other side here. Alright, I assume we're dead here after casting Lotus Petal. You can hear music, that's probably not good. Yep, alright. I can't, but it's not there. Well, the problem is, if you can hear it at all, I'm probably gonna get flagged on YouTube. So, yeah. What if I take the mic and put it over here? Rip monetization. If anyone was able to hear it, that means the YouTube algorithm's gonna pick it up. A lot of the times, the YouTube algorithm would even pick it up even when I wasn't, even when I couldn't hear it. So, alright, where am I? Oh, they just have Past in Flames in the bin? How are they killing me? Oh, they're just like planning to flashback their cantrips and rip my hand apart? Okay, so this is a good example of... Wait. I'm so confused. They don't... How are they... They're just like gonna try and probe into it? And like their backup plan is like take my cards. Yeah, so I should have left the Emrakul on top of my deck. They hit LED here, so they get to cast Brainstorm now. I don't know why they're rushing for it this turn. I don't know, Tom. I have to look it out templated. It's good to be lucky when you play Storm. It's good to be lucky when you play Magic, let's be honest. Alright, so Flusterstorms and Grafdigger's Cage. I don't need this Boseiju. I don't know why they tried to go off there. Like, I wasn't killing them for many terms. Am I supposed to cut these intuitions? Are they just too slow? You want pretzels? Good, thank you for asking. I mean, we cast Emrakul a lot of the time. Are you saying I could trim one, though? Stop it, chat.
I can't.
Maybe I'm just supposed to trim the Emrakuls down to 1. I kind of like that plan. Just like trim the Emrakuls and like leave in my action and my interaction. Yeah, I think I like that. I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna trim down to 1 Emrakul, I think. Just like lean on my Cunning Wishes. I don't know if that's right. I'll have to ask someone. If I play this deck more, I'll have to find someone that really knows what they're doing. But my gut says I'm supposed to just like take the Emrakuls and cut them out. This deck feels like it's 1 land light or 2. 1 or 2 lands light, but I'd have to actually sit down and do the math. Again, if there's a card on top of our deck that we want anyways, I'm going to leave it on top and not fetch and cantrip. But if there's not a card we want on top, yeah, I think like that's probably fine to bottom. And then I'm gonna fetch Preordain here. You know, decks I have in mind for this turn? I don't yet. I don't. I'm unsure. Yeah, that sounds right, Rick. So I didn't actually look at other deck lists. This is a donation deck list like most of the things we play.
Agree.
You want a drink? Okay. I'm gonna go bottom, top here. This gives me some information. It gives me an extra card anyways. Double Flusterstorm, double Duress. That's alright. Yep. They don't have... I guess they have a probe to cantrip. That's not good for us, though. What amount of democracy would it take for you to play the Doran Siege Tower deck this afternoon? Usually a plus 50 gets you to cut to the front of the line. So if you've already donated plus 38, anything over 50, I usually make a point to play right away. Thought I brought a cup down for you kids.
That got a door? That got a door?
Didn't I bring a cup down? Yeah.
That's that drawer?
I mean, the opponent's at 6. I'd probably keep the opponent's hand at 6 on the draw, too. I agree their hand's not stellar, but I think it's a fine keep at 6 cards for them. I mean, I really didn't have anything worth hiding, so if I had cards that I really wanted, maybe I'm supposed to wait, but yeah, see, this is pretty good. It's possible I'm not supposed to ponder here because in the event my opponent has a Cabal Therapy next turn, I'm gonna be really sad to lose both of these Brainstorms, so I think maybe that's a mistake. I'm not supposed to cast that Ponder so I can Brainstorm in response to a Cabal Therapy.
Ooh.
Alright, so I want to draw this Flusterstorm that's on top of my deck, I'm pretty sure. Just take an updated picture here. Play this Cage as some insurance. Hey, Pandazed with that 20-month resubscription. Thanks for re-upping and welcome back. I appreciate the continued support. It's a long time. Welcome back. Opponent's hand shaping up pretty well. Cabal Ritual, Duress, Double Fluster, Inferno Tutor. Like, those are all Is it helpful if I keep their hand on the screen? If I do this. Is that useful for people? Maybe, I think, obviously, since we know they have Flusterstorms now, I should leave a Boseiju in my deck. I think I'm just playing Drago here for now. Yep, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. It would be ideal. I wish Windows had an always on top option so I could like right click this and tell it to keep it above Magic Online, but this is this operating system and not a real one, so I wish the NVIDIA drivers let me stream from Linux. Oh, NVIDIA. Yeah, I think so, JMP. I think just like hitting land drops is fine here. I like use my mana here. This is fine. Opponent's like not going to fluster, right? So with that, I think I want to just keep hitting my land drops. I think I want to just keep hitting these land drops. So the fact that they cast that Infernal Tutor means I should cross this out, but they probably have another Infernal Tutor in their hand, just running that first one out there. Okay. Throw those back for now. I guess my health total really doesn't matter. They could like natural tendrils me, but that's pretty unlikely. Yeah, so the read on second Infernal Tutor was good. They have LED, but they're really kind of scared. They don't want to go in and crack that unless they have some way to clear clear my ability to counter them first. I guess I could like dig for an Ancient Tomb here. Like, Soul Lands would be pretty good at playing through their Flusterstorms. The counterspells are kind of awkward in my opponent's deck because, like, they can't use the counterspells to protect their combo. They can only use the counterspells to disrupt mine. It's a real shame I don't have a Boseiju in my deck still. Definitely should have thought about that maybe and not boarded that out. Yeah, I think I'm in the market for all of these, right? Pretty sure I'm in the market for all these. It actually lets me just hard cast Force of Will for 5 mana too, which is nice. Go hard cast Force plus cast Flusterstorm. It's like a waiting game. What do I think about Legacy Elves? I think it's really kind of clunky and awkward. The biggest problem with Legacy Elves in my experience playing with it is the fact that you have to play 4 Gaia's Cradles in your deck gives you this twofold problem where the deck both simultaneously feels like it has too many lands and not enough lands. Maybe I could have Cunning Wished at their end of turn there. I don't know. That deck could go either way. If the kids continue cooperating, we're going to play High Tide after this. One chose not to shuffle, sure. Start record so far. We're currently 2-1. We actually lost to High Tide, and we beat a mirror match and Miracles. Hardcast Omniscience is certainly a possibility. I don't think I want any of those, right? I'm just gonna pass here. I'm gonna leave up Hardcast Force plus Flusterstorm.
I picked Mogote. I picked Mogote. I picked Mogomo.
You wanna pick Margot Choice? How much mana do we have? We have 7, 8. We're technically 2 mana away from casting this Omniscience. That's kind of messed up. Maybe I should have taken the land. Just hard cast the Omniscience? Okay. Yeah, maybe that was a mistake. Okay, it's going. We have 3 tombs in the deck. No, I don't want to spend 4 health setting up mana like that. I think that's loose. Sounds good, Stinger. I think I'm just going bottom here, looking for lands. I actually, there's only 5 islands in this deck, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I actually need the Ancient Tomb to cast my thing. I actually need the Ancient Tomb to cast my Omniscience. I mean, I don't really dislike any of the cards in my hand. I think my hand's pretty reasonable. Am I just hardcasting this Force? The problem if I hardcast this Force is that the hardcasting Omniscience is out later. I think I just let this happen. With double Force Fluster, hopefully we'll be hard-pressed to lose here. They have 7 cards though, so like they might be able to kind of shred our hand. We'll see. His Grafdigger's Cage is hopefully hanging out, making things hard for them too. I think Back to Basics belongs on the board here. Maybe. I don't hate that. That's like a pseudo Blood Moon type card, right? I don't think I'd bring it in a matchup like this, but... I don't know. I'm kind of a fan of the Grafdigger's Cages. They seem like a good use of like limited slots that we have. Because we definitely have limited slots because of Cunning Wish, right? They hard cast Cabal Ritual and then passed. Alright, deal. Ancient Tomb? Ancient Tomb? Am I just supposed to take Ponder? I think I'm just supposed to take Ponder, right? I'm just looking for Ancient Tomb at this point. Alright, so there's only 2 islands left in my deck, so I actually can't just draw another fetch land here and cast the Omniscience. Which kind of sucks. I'm gonna upkeep, fetch. Yeah, I'm just gonna upkeep, fetch. I don't, or whatever. I'm gonna fetch before I draw. All right, well. I'm just casting Show and Tell here, right? Well, they had 2 Flusterstorms last time we looked for Flusterstorms as part of the problem. Sure. Are you like gonna ad nauseam in response here? I think I just pay for this, right? It's actually literally turn 14, by the way. I don't know if you are actually counting, but... So we're off the hard cast Omniscience plan if I pay for this. I think that's fine. I think that's fine. Yeah, I'm just gonna pay for this. Like, make them burn the other Flusterstorm. Hopefully don't just get natty tendrils here. Well, no, that's not how Flusterstorm works, Tom. Because we have to counter every copy of their Flusterstorm. Flusterstorm's really good against counterspells because you have to counter every copy of their Flusterstorm. So yeah, so I can't actually counter this Flusterstorm because my opponent has 5 floating mana plus this plus this. So like, I could counter one copy of their Flusterstorm, but then there's still these other copies that have to resolve. Alright, so hopefully with triple force Flusterstorm we don't die this turn. Look, Doug, memes exist because they're generally based in truth, if we're being honest. Alright, so I have 3 show and tells in 22 cards left in my deck. I have 2 show and tells because I discarded one early. You want pretzels too? I got the hookup, kid. Thank you for asking nicely. Jake likes pretzels. Yep. Last island out of the deck. It doesn't actually really do anything, right? Am I just like getting 3 lands with this? Just like thinning 3 non-show and tell cards out of my deck? Well, I don't have enough health to hardcast the Omniscience through Ancient Tomb anymore, so that's not an option. So I think I'm literally just thinning 3 lands out of my deck here. I could get 3 cantrips, but that seems loose. I think I just want to thin 3 lands out of my deck. These combo matches are so strange. They're such weird games of Magic. No, I don't know anything about Standard, just haven't been playing the format. There's just so much Modern and Legacy to play. Looking for cantrips, one of our last 2 show and tells. There's nothing in my sideboard that's useful, right? No. Alright. I guess this Spell Pierce is basically a dead card, right? I can bin that. They can almost just cast Tendrils and kill us. You're not wrong. That's why I said natural Tendrils is actually something I'm worried about. Trickbind is useful. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Show and tell. Cantrips. God bless. Show and tell. There are 15 cards in my deck. 2 of them are show and tells. Bottom. Bottom. Magic. Oh my god, how have we not hit do I bin the Emrakul? Do I bin the Emrakul? Is that a real thing? Do I want to shuffle my deck? I don't, right? Because, like, there's 11 cards. I think I'm just discarding this Cunning Wish, right? I think I'm just discarding this Cunning Wish. Justin with the real questions. Why isn't there show and tell on the board? Just Cunning Wish for the show and tell. Uh-oh, they chose not to shuffle. Uh-oh. Ruh-roh raggy. Oh, I have a Noxious Revival. Holy dicks. Wow. Thank you, XJ Cloud. Wow, I am stupid. We actually can wish for a show and tell. Damn it, chat was right. Chat was right. Oh no, they have 2 Cabal therapies, so we're dead? I think we're dead, chat. Well, you're not saying nothing anymore. You have a banning. I think it's too late now. I think we're gonna get double Cabal therapy and then die. Oh wait, the storm count is 2. What if I Flusterstorm them here? Yeah, I'm gonna Flusterstorm them actually. Well, the problem is they have 2 Cabal therapies. They have a second one after this. Hey, TZ Pie Gaming with that 313 subscription. Thanks a lot. Welcome back, bud. I appreciate the continued support. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. God, these long combo games, this deck does so much damage to itself. So much damage to itself. Are they passing? That's so good for us. If they don't have a third Flusterstorm, we get to get them now, right? Put an Omniscience, cast Emrakul. Alright, we won in spite of myself. We won in spite of myself. Is there supposed to be a Boseiju in my deck? I don't know, I like midway into that game I felt like there was supposed to be a Boseiju in my deck, but like the way it played out, I feel like maybe not having Boseiju is right.
I'm more go toys.
No more go toys.
It goes back.
What a show and tell of the sideboard. Get out of here.
Dad, this one's back.
Hang on, watch.
This one's back.
This deck's generated some excellent games of Magic. This is the first, like, Legacy deck I've played recently that's, like, seems semi-real that I've enjoyed playing.
That's her days.
The red card is Legacy staple Release the Ants. That's the joke. Cunning Wish is only an instant, so you can't Cunning Wish for show and tell, chat. There actually aren't that many Leovolts in Legacy for reference.
Dad, ghost game, the ghost game.
You cast Release the Ants with Omniscience.
Ghost game, the ghost game. The ghost game. I like the ghost game. I like the ghost game. Hey, it's a ghost game taking.
It's gonna go.
The ghost game, hey, the ghost game.
Firemind's Foresight draws you a bunch of cards with Cunning Wish when you have Omniscience out. It's very good. You'll want to go back and watch. If you haven't been here for the entire stream, you're gonna want to go back and watch the first couple matches with this deck. Can I keep this hand on the draw with a scry? Probably not. We only have 12 lands. I just hate mulliganing against a deck that has mono discard in it. I guess this hand's really shit against Cabal Therapy though. I guess I'll mulligan because it's bad against Cabal Therapy. This hand's much better. That is perfect. Just great spot for that to beat you. Again, it feels like this is a buckle up, settle in for a long game type matchup, especially post board, so. They kept a hand with no lands. Okay. Did they scry a card to the top? They put a card on top, which is such a tilt. Like, they kept a no land 6. Maybe, Tom, it's just tough, right? Because, like, there's a lot of games of Legacy that, like, don't last till turn 5. Is part of the issue, and like if you have Omniscience in play, you generally don't need more help to win the game. Interesting they got Tropical Island, so they must have boarded an Abrupt Decay after seeing Grafdigger's Cage, right? I wouldn't be surprised if they were cold to the Cage game too, like as far as getting it off the table goes. But I'd expect them to have ways to interact with it post board. They chose to shuffle their deck there, so hopefully they're about to mess. Could be a Swarm, that's true too. That's a good read. You want to watch a Go's game? Okay. This is probably going to take a Force of Will. Force of Will or Show and Tell are both like good names here, so they're likely to hit blind. Yeah, named Force of Will. It's a little unfortunate for us. Pretty unlucky, or lucky on their part that they hit what's the word I'm searching for? They hit like running lands. Like they shuffled this Ponder, then hit a Black Source. Yeah, they have a Xantid Swarm. It's pretty annoying. Omniscience. Omniscience. Alright. Looking for Omniscience. This is an any order shuffle, right? I guess I can take the Preordain and then crack a fetch land. I'm just gonna any order shuffle because I like to Omniscience naturally and just floop it into play. Flusterstorm is good. Nope, not at all. Not at all. I was really hoping to find more cantrips there. There might have been merit to taking the Preordain and then shuffling away those other 2 lands and casting Preordain. Yeah, kinda, Tom. Honestly, I'd rather find a Brainstorm into, like, multiple things that are good. Like, if we get, like, Omniscience plus Cantrip, we could probably chain through our deck. It smells like there's something crappy that has occurred in my basement. I'm auto-passing, so I assume we're gonna die. I'll be right back. I'm gonna time you out because you didn't tell me why you need to take the cantrip. You're only allowed to tell me I'm wrong if you do one of 2 things. 1, explain to me why I'm wrong like an adult and be constructive about it. Or 2, pay me money. If you wanna tell me I'm an idiot and not give constructive feedback, at least subscribe first. At least subscribe first. They shuffled their ponder. All right, maybe we're not done. I need to change a diaper really quick. I'll be right back. Yep, yeah, change your poo-poo. Icky poop, yep. Yeah, the red and pink goes. Am I dead? Not quite? I think we're dead. We're dead next turn, right? Almost certainly. Are we supposed to be able to hear the Power Rangers documentary? No, probably not. I need to turn my noise gate back on. Had that off last night. There's a good chance this video gets demonetized or flagged for copyright infringement because of that in Jake's tablet earlier. You can't have a webcam show up in Discord and OBS at the same time. That's not how technology works. Yep, dead. All right, we're 2-2. So, one of the things that's kind of interesting, if you've played Mono and Blue Omniscience before, feel free to chime in chat with an explanation. Don't be useful. Don't just tell me I'm dumb and it's good. Why is Release the Ants good? Can someone describe to me what a game state looks like that Release the Ants is a necessary card for me to have in my sideboard to win the game? Can anyone describe that to me? It wins through. It's like exactly Ensnaring Bridge, but like doesn't Echoing Truth beat Ensnaring Bridge? Echoing Truth beats multiple Ensnaring Bridge, right? So I'm gonna shoot that one down. No, they attacked with Xantid Swarm, Squishy. If Emrakul gets extracted, you usually can't win with Release the Ants. Omniscience beats Containment Priest, so that's not an argument either. Omniscience beats Containment Priest. I'm like searching and digging, and like I really, it's like exactly Humility, right? Which seems like super narrow. Like that card doesn't see play, and like I have Echoing Truth, right? So like I'm only winning with this card if I have Omniscience in play anyways, and like if I have that, I have Echoing Truth, right? Mostly holdover from the dig through time days. You can combo at instant speed. That seems really narrow. Seems really narrow. $1 donation from Justin. Please change the casting cost. I'll have to ask my buddy that does Photoshop to do it. Yeah, okay, but like there aren't decks that gain infinite health in Legacy like there are in Modern on occasion. It's fine. Not good, but fine. Like I'm digging because like usually these narrow cards like have some important applications in some small subset of games, right? Yeah, I feel like just another situational sideboard. Yeah, I think you would just cut it for like another like actual sideboard card. You know, like a Grafdigger's Cage or a Back to Basics or another counterspell. Yeah, but if they put O-Ring into play, you just Cunning Wish for Trickbind and Trickbind the O-Ring. Like Trickbind's a good card to have there. So like we already like these other cards in our board, like these cards cover like all of the situations everyone's talking about. So like if these cover these other situations, like why is this card here? But I kind of like this deck, so I'm like trying to think through like why are we playing the things we're playing and like why are they good, why are they useful, etc. Actually, I think I don't want these ancient tubes. Just like looking for more basics, yeah. No, what about style points? Asking the important questions. It's probably a meme. Yeah, it feels like a meme to me, which is why I'm asking about it. It's a pretty good draw. I don't know what they're doing yet. We'll find out, I guess. Your opponent can untap and kill you like a long game where your opponent ends up with lots of permanents. Okay, kinda, but like, can't I just like get another Emrakul and cast it? I can't I just like find second Emrakul, cast second Emrakul? You want to watch trains? What do you want to watch? You're watching, okay?
I'll take this one.
Okay, let's go. All right, so their fair deck. And wins through extraction on Emrakul. That's like it, right? That's the line. But like it doesn't really always win through extraction on Emrakul, right? Alright, this is good. I'm excited to play this matchup. If we lose this matchup, I'm just not gonna play this deck ever again. These are the style of decks that feel like they really prey on these control decks. In my experience playing the format. You want more pretzels? Alright, alright. Throw these back. Play this fetch land past the turn. Like these are like our opponent's playing like Deathrite Shaman Mush, right? Just like deck that's probably super inbred for a fair meta game, but just like happens to have a ton of good matchup against us. Oh, we had to put Omniscience back. Okay, yeah, that's fair. So we do still have a high converted mana cost card left to go get. Okay, that's a fair assessment. Yeah, but I'm trying to think through. This is how, like, so, like, one of the things that happens within Legacy a lot of the time is Legacy is a format where people very regularly just sit and only play the same deck over and over again ad nauseum for forever. And I feel like they don't really apply, like, critical thinking skills to the cards they're making. There's just, like, there's a lot of, in Legacy, where people are just like, well, we play this card because we've always played this card, and this is, that's just the card you play. So don't think about it, that's just the cards you play. So I'm like trying to like go through and talk to myself and with you guys, you all out there, like why are we making the decisions that are made in this deck? Are they good decisions? Or is this a useful sideboard slot? Yeah, exactly, like that kind of thinking, right? It's a good draw. Why aren't you playing him and Jund? You should watch the video from last night. We actually talked about that in the video. All right, so I'm just getting, I guess they could have a Force or a Daze here, but no, when you clash, you can choose to leave the card on top of your deck. All right, so they have nothing, and we have Omniscience, and are at 16, so let's go. Yeah, I don't know why they didn't force the Spell Pierce. I don't know, they 10 out of 10 should have forced the Spell Pierce. They definitely fucked this game up. Oh, look at that. Found a piece of candy, chat. So, and again, like, this is why, like, when people tell me, like, I'm X and whatever with the deck on Magic Online and, like, so it's good, I'm like, well, like, am I really X and whatever with this deck? Because, like, if I'm doing formal testing, I should write this game off as a loss for, like, thinking about, like, did my deck actually win this game? Because my deck didn't win this game. I won this game because my opponent didn't use their Force of Will appropriately, but like, if like my opponent's playing well on the other side of the table, they win that game almost all of the time, I think. What do I want to board here? Flusterstorm's probably fine. It counters him to Torok. That card really sucks, so let's do that. Yeah, I mean, like, I'm not saying, like, it's an intuitive line on my opponent's part, but I'm just saying, like, if I was, like, doing like, formal testing, like, that's the style of matchup, that's the style of game where just, like, well, I can't really count this as a W, because I shouldn't have won it. Like, if Matt and I were sitting at the table, and he forced my Cunning Wish, I'd be like, Matt, you should have forced my Spell Pierce last turn, and my hand should be gone. And, like, while you'll certainly win games in tournaments because people make mistakes, I mean, I make mistakes all the time. Playing games and counting mistakes as wins from the other side of the table doesn't give you an accurate prediction of what the power level of a deck is. I don't really like Hex's current standard format. I think their mono blood deck generates some really terrible games of Magic. Go get your bowl and I'll give you some more pretzels. What do I want to cut here?
go take. I'm a go take.
It's not even about being results based. It's just about forcing to empty my hand is right, Mary Pringles. Like, they obviously didn't want to pitch their Jace. They were being greedy or stupid or whatever you want to call it about it. But am I supposed to trim forces in this matchup? It almost feels like I'm supposed to trim forces. Maybe intuition is slow.
They're gone.
Pick which one you want. You want this one? Oh, fuck.
I want this one.
Let's just submit real quick here. I didn't really think too hard about what we were doing there because we were running out of time. It's fine. Not exciting, but fine. Our starting hand isn't going to be our starting hand very long in a matchup like this. They're just going to rip it apart. So, like, land plus spells is, like, a good keep. Yeah, they could draw Lily, or they could draw another Jace. Like, they have a ton of live draws. Just like looking for a backup show and tell, right? How do I want to stack this, chat? I probably just want to draw the Talrand and leave the show and tells on top. Yeah, it resolves. Yeah, I kind of want another land in this deck. I think we're like one island light. I think I'd like a 6th island. Hopefully they don't him both our Omniscience here or our Ancient Tomb. Perfect. Great. You have a counterspell opponent. I think I'm supposed to put this other Omniscience into play too, right? They probably don't have Maelstrom Pulse in their deck. Magic's tough. Magic's tough. My oldest is only 4, so he's in half-day preschool. But they have today off. Alright, only 3-2. God, that's the first league we've cashed in forever. Huh. That's the first league we've cashed in forever. This deck felt pretty good. Not just because we cashed, it like generated fun. Like I had fun playing Magic in that league. So like that last matchup, how that played out. Dude, I'm gonna let you pick. Mommy's at work, she won't be home till tonight.
Mommy, go ahead.
So I wonder if Leyline of Sanctity is playable in the board. It's like it's good in those him matchups, and it's good against Storm. This might be a deck I do some research on. It's going. This might be a deck I do some research on and run back at some point before. What deck should tell me Jace is unbitten? Right. So like, I enjoyed the Magic that we played. I think there's a couple of little details that I like both don't understand and maybe don't agree with in this deck. I kind of didn't mind not having Lotus Petal. I kind of like the idea of just like being slightly a touch slower and like having more resilience.
Well, I mean, we beat the matchup that I thought was going to be hard. I need to play it more. Like I said, like, the first game we probably shouldn't or couldn't have won. Yeah, and like these Grafdiggers cages, and like we talked about the release dance, so like these could just be 3 copies of Leyline. Could definitely just be the sideboard. I don't know if this Talrand's really funny. I think I like him. He's like good. Like this is a plan against surgical extraction, right? This is the plan against surgical extraction. Yeah, let's meme with High Tide. Let's meme with High Tide. So we don't need it against Storm, but like it's fine there. It's like fine there. It's like good against their disruption. So like if you go back and watch the Storm matchup, if you didn't catch all of the league, it'll go up on YouTube later. The Storm matchup goes long, and Leyline helps stop their disruption from disrupting us, which is nice. High Tide.
Hi, Tide.
You want to watch Transformers?
Hi,
You want to watch Bots?
Tide.
You want to watch